Hi guys, Scatlink here. Welcome to my modding showcasing sub-series, Hats Off to You, a series of which we try out community-created hats, costumes, functions, singular levels, full chapters, or time rifts created by the Hat in Time fan community via the Steam Workshop. This will also include any challenge roads of which will have their own video dedicated to earning ourselves a trophy, of which would otherwise be permanently missed. Guys, I'm not even going to waste your time.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Why is this challenge road so big and long? This is the largest challenge road we have ever had. 8 levels long. And these aren't short either. I think the only short one is the... Well, the weirdest thing is that you have to go on to the first level, press left a couple of times. There we go. And then we can actually get to this level. The Birdhouse Rift, the 6th level in this list, in this long stretch of levels, is the shortest level. The next shortest is probably Bleak City Rift. And the hardest one is off Shipwreck's coast. This is not an easy challenge road. Once again, you know the drill. You have 3 lives. If you fail, got to do the whole thing again. But not only is this the longest and the most challenging challenge road that we've had since, well, maybe challenging in terms of just anything that has the pink sunrise, but in terms of length, the longest one was 7 levels long of its original release of Challenge Road 14, back when the level compilation mod first released by Epic Yoshi Master, and that had 2 different variations due to levels being updated. And right now I'm playing the base 8 levels of Challenge Road 37. Are we not sure they just fused 37, 38, 39 and 40 together into one and just wrap it up? Because how are you going to top this? It's like, there is a theme throughout of this, and that's why I was wearing that swimming uniform once again, because we already wore that previously. I think most of these came from that Ocean Modding Jam. So, we've got a lot to cover. First of all, we have Hats of Rage Retro. Well, that's descriptive. Any more information? That didn't load properly. Why is this not loading properly? There we go. Fight your way through to the timepiece in this arcade-inspired level. Includes 3 tiny stages with different themes and fights, by David P. Next up we have Harbour Hopping. Welcome to Harbour Hopping, made for the 2022 Mod Jam Ocean Exploration. Hat Kid finds herself in the middle of a storm and she must make it safely out by going to the eye of the storm. Well, how does that go safely out? But what dangers await her? Modders note, this is my very first attempt at a mod, and I was being very stubborn with it, so some of it is pretty rough, not gonna lie, but hope you enjoy my first crack at modding. It was a learning experience, to say the least. We've got quite a bit of credits on this one. Shout out firstly to modding, but especially Sandwich Driving 101, Dr. Treefrog, and S-Pop. Special thanks to my voice actors, Cowboy Dude as the Mafia, and himself. Himself not being displayed here for some reason. Mr. Chuckles. Next up we have Off Shipwreck's Coast. Lots of people say ships never return from their routes through this area. I wonder what could be sinking them. A short level made for, once again, the 2022 Hat Modding Rift Jam Ocean Exploration. If you go, you're going to need a Dweller Mask and a grappling hook, or you're probably going to go under like the rest of those ships. I could not read that. Made by one of our regulars in the modding community, Star Shoals. Just a question, why does the modder's name never show up at the top anymore? I think someone explained it to me before, that that's an option, but why not just have that on there? At default, like it used to be. Because it's quite annoying to go into the Steam Workshop to see who's created it, when I'm trying to give credit. Like, you've made a mod, and people are playing it. You would like to know who made it. Anyways, Ocean Treasures, my submission for the Ocean Exploration 22 Modding Jam. Hat Kid stumbles upon a sea full of mysteries and, of course, a timepiece suspiciously placed in the middle of the ocean. Tried to go for something simple and quick this time while focusing on visuals and background. It's nothing special, but it was fun putting it all together. Made by Samisha. I think we've had you before as well. Now we get into the actual rifts, and do you see a familiar name? As soon as I mention it, it actually shows up. Jillin's God! Jillin's God has made yet another rift, and this is like the third, like, rift that he's made that's ended up in a challenge road, and it's all been recent challenge roads as well. And it's in chronological order of creation as well. Once we get into the level, you will know what I mean. A little time rift star that involves pressing buttons and activating switches with your hookshot badge to progress. It's easier, shorter, and less story focused than my other levels, so hopefully it's a nice change of pace. This is actually my first blue time rift, not my first mod or map or time rift that I actually started working on before my first published mod even existed. So this was actually an early concept, but as I mentioned, there is still plot relevance within Jillin's God's own creations here. And I'm not talking about the fact that he's just specified that this is an early one. He's updated it to coincide of being released after his previous creations. Next up is the Birdhouse Rift, a short time rift based on the Birdhouse from Alpine Skyline because its assets were the first things I saw in the content browser. Made by TurboShell. Rift of Downpour by another familiar face who's actually joined us in a few Vanessa's Curse playthroughs actually. LCL. Requires the hookshot, part-time 240. This is intended for speedrunning. Don't expect a part-time out of me. Apparently a world record hasn't been set, unless that is actually the time it's been infinitely broken. I doubt that. A blue rift based on Downpour, the flaw from Binding of Isaac Anti-Birth, as well as Repentance, because some of the Anti-Birth stuff, which was a mod, did actually make its way into the final DLC expansion, Repentance, which is the latest version of Rebirth, by the way. Hat Kid is walking along Mafia Town one day. It was raining quite hard. As she searched for shelter from the harsh storm that was brewing up, she found a new time rift hidden under one of the storm drains. It had a similar sort of stormy look to it, which meant it was pretty chaotic rift. She needed to close it as soon as possible. It must be the cause of the harsh storm. So with that, she dove into the rift and was met with a downpour of rain and lightning. This one is very physics-based. And last but not least, we have Bleak City Rift by S-Pop, who was mentioned in a previous level already within this very challenge road. A time rift set within an ominous city, coated with a layer of dense fog. Considering the graphic style, even though I haven't played it, but looking at the box art, it gives me Omori vibes. So if this wasn't long enough, guess what? A few of these levels have collectibles within them as well, so we'll have to go out of our way to grab those along the way as well. I believe these levels are Bleak City Rift, the Birdhouse Rift, and Ocean's Treasures. But they're all tokens, so we don't have to worry about them, but of course, me being a completionist and all that, and I want to get this trophy, I want to get it all. So, are we ready for a marathon of a video? Let's go. I do not know where this NES style music comes from, but it sounds amazing. I don't even know if it's an original composition or not, but the game's got like this low resolution filter to it. We can attack with our Brelly, and by the way, I shouldn't really be taking damage. That's a mistake. Because again, we've got a marathon of a challenge road to get through. So I really need to reserve my health as much as possible and not make silly mistakes. Also, camera is locked. We can't really move it much. And we can't use our hats. I'm trying to press my hat button right now. I can't bring up the hat wheel either. That's because we've actually lost our hats for some reason. As well as our badges, because, you know, they get attached to the hat. Where have they gone? Even though we're technically wearing our sprint hat right now, it's whatever you were last wearing. Let me grab one of them. And Hat Kid, over here! There's a Hat Kid here. What? There we go. That's the one I wanted to do. Oh, great camera angle game, thank you for that. What's going on? Everything looks like a 1994 arcade game and everyone is fighting each other. And there's weird music playing in my head. I think I'm going insane. We're in a simulation. What? How do we escape from this 8-bit arcade simulation hell, then? By winning the game. But that doesn't matter, I'll catch up later. Get going and get us out from here. Yeah, I don't know why there's another hack kid just telling us that, but... Also, the transitions are trippy because the door is just gone and we're in a completely new area now, even though that's not what it looked like. Where did the door go? So, yeah, this is like supposed to be designed like a 2.5D beat-em-up game, like Streets of Rage, because it's called Hats of Rage. You got your lost hats and badges back. You should equip your hookshot badge, it may be useful in the future. So now we got our hats back. I don't know why they're taken away from us just to leave them at the very start, well, end of the first battle segment, but there you go. Also, these enemies take a lot more abuse than they usually do, so obviously be careful. I mean, even if you're playing the mod normally, we're in the challenge road that is 8 levels long, so definitely be careful. In fact, I am going to use my throwing hat for long-range damage and potentially hitting 2 enemies at once. Actually, that's killing them a lot quicker than just smacking them with my brelly. Oh, and if you are struggling through this and you really don't want to be playing through again, especially after the 3rd level of this challenge road, not the 3rd segment of this level, this is level 1 of 8. If you are struggling, I highly recommend using assist mode to double your health, your maximum health, because it's going to be necessary. Also, there's a trick that you want to be using in this level with your badges that I'll get into in a bit. For now, though, it's not so bad. Just don't touch this floor. I'm going to jump on this, jump here, hookshot target. We get a cheeky little view of what's ahead there, but the camera's not supposed to. I think that's a small little bug, but appreciate it, because, yeah, this could be messy. Alright, I'll take that. That's fine, because I can get my health by doing this. There we are. Why is there a melon here? I don't know why it's glitchy. Maybe it's a weird placeholder, but you can stand on it. When I'm alone. I don't know. Well, there's a door at the bottom of a stairwell that we can't actually get off for some reason. Guess what happens when we walk through here? It looks like we just continued on, but where's the rest of the level gone? And it's a drop, so it's not a solid wall. Also, this music sounds very Pokemon trading card game. I know it's not from it, but it sounds quite similar. No cats allowed. I don't think that applies to me in particular. Also, we got a very low-res movie poster in the background there, which we can't actually read what it is. I hope this isn't actually messing with the bitrate of the video and making it look worse. But yeah, look at the lighting effects as well. They're also affected. Now, this is where I have a bit of a problem with this level. This is more of a platforming segment than a beat-em-up segment, but we can't exactly see what's coming up if we try to go for it. So what do? I like to do this. Use your badges to your advantage. I want to get out the camera badge. And then we want to press the select button in order to actually access the camera. This is a basic badge that you can get in the game. You can get it practically within your first visit to Mafia Town. So I don't think this is cheating. It just helps me see what I'm actually doing. So I can turn the camera and center it behind me. So I can actually see where we got to go. As you can see, it's on a bit of an angle going in this direction. But we can only go so far away from Hat Kid. So what we want to do, basically, get out of that mode, is that I want to make sure I am... Actually, it's zoomed out a bit here. I want to make sure that I am aligned with this bag so I can try, after bouncing on that, make a flying leap to the rest of it. Because we should be able to hit both these bags in succession. And if not, we've got a safety net. Like so. That's what we want. Now we do it again. Should be a straight on route if I move just slightly close to the camera. In this sense. That was actually a nice smooth camera change. Actually, I'm just going to go for it. I missed it! I missed the zipline and it's reset me to the end. But not to the end, to the beginning. You know what I mean. To the beginning of the segment. So I've got to try it again. Actually, this is sparkling. I've never actually stood in the way of that. Oh, okay, you just do that. Interesting. Don't know what this puddle's about, though. Doesn't seem to do anything. So if I'm here... That's not good. I didn't hit either one of them. See what I mean? That's why I prefer using the camera badge to align myself. Because there's just no way you're going to have a depth of field with your drop shadow already being faint as it is, which I've mentioned is a common problem in this game, with low resolution. Which you can't... Well, actually, I don't know if you can overwrite this with another badge, but... Sorry, I had to cut that out. A friend tag on Steam showed up, and I wasn't prepared for that. I thought I turned those off. That'll do it. Alright, we're here again. Music's great, though, I will admit. It's just that this bit could probably have a little bit more work put into it, because it's basically a crapshoot if you're actually fine or not. Right, I should be fine here. Oh, come on! Well, I can't... If I lose a life this early, I will be just restarting the challenge road. Because losing a life this early is pointless, because it's going to be a hindrance later on in the entire thing. So... I don't even need lunch for that bit, actually. Also, throughout this challenge road, if I do go quiet... That's literally just me concentrating. That I like to try and keep commentary going as long as possible, but I'm going to have to concentrate for quite a bit in some points. So, forgive me if I do lose the flow of commentary for a bit. There we are, I'm on it. Okay, now this is the worst part. I've got to bounce over you. Okay, I made it. I'm safe. Okay, I think I've just salvaged this. You can wall climb up here if you want to. In fact, I'm gonna, because I want to show you something. There's no collectibles in this level, but there is no way that they didn't think that you would actually attempt this. We're not going to go through this door right now. We're going to climb. All the way up. This music's great. I don't know what it's from, or if it's an original composition like I mentioned, but the soundtrack for this entire level is amazing. So, yeah, welcome up here. In fact, I've still got the camera badge on, so we can have a little bit of zoom out, turn it around. There's nothing up here. In fact, you can actually see the level over there. Probably shouldn't be doing like a weird little boundary break in this level, but I just am. All that is solid, by the way. You can walk on that. And yet, there is literally nothing up here. Absolute waste of time, but it's just something that you can do. I didn't even cheat. I just did a normal wall climb. And by the way, speaking of the wall climb, when this challenge road dropped, so did an update to the core game. And the hit detection for wall climbing, randomly stopping you from scaling up a wall, like that. You know, when you go up the wall like that, and sometimes you just don't go up, like we had many times during the challenge roads, more notably so. The Death Wishes, most notably so. Yeah, that's been fixed now in a patch. Well, that's not creepy at all, like, from this resolution at least. But once we approach, it's just the Hat Kid clone. Is this like virtual Hat Kid? Hi, Hat Kid! I don't know how much trouble I had coming here. So what now? We need the timepiece. And will that take us back home, right? Yes. Right. Then go do whatever you have to do. Fair enough. But another update... Well, another thing that was added to this update, at least. Also, I didn't get a chance to read that. Every time I land on this platform, that text box shows up but disappears without me pressing a button. I don't know what that said, so I guess I'll just have it on screen here in editing. Then I'll have to read it while I'm editing, but that's what shows up. Is that the update also fixes the order of the challenge road thumbnails, which, again, why did it take that long to get that sorted? I mean, I know it's not a high priority, but it's a little bit weird. Problem is, though, when this challenge road loads with that thumbnail, the thumbnail's actually blank because it can't fit them all in. So when you actually fix the order that they show up in, you're not going to notice it in this challenge road that the update came along with anyway. It's just a little bit funny to me. Anyway, with just nothing but a purple screen of nothing, we're going to leave. On to level 2! Why is one of the beta aviation dudes just T-posing buried in the sand? That's not creepy at all. Seem to be having a lot of that recently already.
Oh. Hey, kiddo. What you doing out here in this storm?
Me? Well, I was doing a little fishing and then that there storm came and threw my boat onto the shore.
Yep.
Ended up buried in the sand. Don't worry about me though, just get somewhere safe, okay?
Sorry if the dings on progressing the text box was super loud, but I have to crank up the volume so you can hear that voice acting. Yes, custom voice acting. Always love that. Fits with the rest of the aesthetics of the rest of the game's production value. But it is super quiet. It's a sign. Looks very old. It says, Mafia Rest Stop. The Time Rift collapse music might be playing right now, but there is no time limit. You can take your time, and considering my health right now, I really do actually need to take my time. You can swim in this water, don't worry about that. So it's not like you have to avoid the water. And again, because it's a storm, you'd think that you would have a time limit, but no, the music's just to set that tension, there's no actual time limit. You can swim in the water, that's not a problem, just obviously don't swim for too long. You will start to drown, unless you have the modding, where is it, seal hat, in which case you will have unlimited as well as faster swimming. I'm not gonna abuse that, because even though I'm not gonna land in the water too much. Also, this rock is a pain to traverse. Just keep jumping, you'll eventually get up. Up and over, there we go. I think the intended thing is to like hug the edges so you don't drown, so you can swim around. And again, you might want to actually swim around with the seal hat, because as long as you stay on the critical path and keep jumping on every piece of terrain, you're not going to drown, so... Also, I swear in this level, your jumping movement is a little bit balked. It just feels like that to me. Also, apologies for the bitrate, it could be just the rain doing that. But, yeah, it's... You can't drown, so... Because when I first played this level, I thought that would be a problem. Also, I don't want these guys pecking me, because they could shove me into those shockwaves, so I want to grab this hop on cheekily. This is a pretty chill level, honestly, despite the dire situation that it's trying to make it out to be. It's kind of funny, that. Still, this is a good track, so I can't complain. I'm going to wait for him to do a shockwave and then bap him! Gives me a little bit of a rest stop there. It's still faster to just jump and hop around anyway, so you shouldn't have any problems getting through without drowning. By the way, we're at the halfway point. Well, I say halfway point. Halfway point of this part of the level, at least. And you can just walk around this entire little island and get to the other side, or you can go through here, which is what you intend to do, and have an NPC to talk to. Also, a little bit of a weird thing here, actually. If I come over here, I noticed that there's a wall here, but if you look at the other side, it's only one-sided texture. I went around during my practice on my personal file and came back through the back way, and then I was running this way, and then I just hit a wall that wasn't there, and I was like, why can I not move? There's an invisible wall here. Then I realised it's only one-sided, but it is got collision on both sides? It's a bit weird. Normally, in instances like that, you wouldn't have collision on both sides. You would pass through the invisible side.
Mafia is scared of tornadoes, so other Mafia kicked Mafia off a boat. Only a fool would go into that storm, Mafia say.
Well, Luca the Mafiaite doesn't want to move through, so I guess we're just going to have to go through ourselves. I haven't actually touched these effects, or decided to swim out of bounds, like through that gap. I mean, here it looks like we could just be like Moses and walk through, but that flooring is very deep. If that's even a floor, or if it's shadow, I don't know. But I haven't touched any of these effects either, and I don't intend to. These rafters spin. Again, you can swim, so it's not that big of a problem. Just use these as stepping stones. You don't have to platform from one to the next and deal with the pushes. They're just going to push you into the water anyway. But these Mafia will start trying to throw some cans at you to try and you know, knock you around as well. They don't do damage. As I said, the only things that really do damage here is either you drowning or getting hit by these shockwaves from these squids. Other than that, you're pretty much fine. So we'll just continue platforming ourselves around. You just pecked your own brethren into the water and killed it. No shame whatsoever. Also, I can't see. Thank you. No, don't do that. Thank you. Oh, really now? Why do you have a lot of health? There we go. Just commit drowning. Right. We've made it to the end of this part. To the boat. The classic Mafia boat.
Ah, I was wondering when you would show up, kid with the hat.
Subtitles say "the" because that's how he says it.
I saw your hourglass fall from the sky and waited for your arrival. Get her, boys.
So, since when did you regenerate? Also, that's a lot of Mafia. Not a fan. Brewing hat is the way to go for this, honestly, unless you want to use the projectile badge. That is an option. I just realised that I still have the camera badge on, so I want to swap it back for Fast Hatter to charge this up a little bit faster. There we go. That's a lot better. Because we could get multiple kills off of these explosions. Oh!
This time, kid with the hat. We will meet again.
Literally hit me as I blew him up and the cutscene started all at once.
Take your timepiece and get lost.
Hey. Don't need that. I'm not the bad guy here. So when does this take place since you're revived? Who knows? Maybe it was the Snatchers doing. Made a deal with the devil, as it were. Good sir. Anyways, we're out of here. Storming off to the next level. We braved a storm and now we're under the water. That we were on a ship and now we're basically in the deep darkness. What you want to do is have the Dweller Mask on for a lot of this level, because from what I've discovered, this darkness is very hard to see edges of platforms, unless you use the Dweller Mask, because the effect can illuminate the area, and with its luminescence, cuts through the darkness, which is very useful. If you do have it as well, you can also use Nico's hat to summon the light bulb as a light source, and thankfully we're not in one shot, this is just a facsimile, so we can actually toss this to see if there's like platforms in the darkness that we could jump to. Thankfully it's not so bad right now, in fact it looks really good, but trust me, this level gets unfairly difficult with how it plays with the lighting. Also, that's just a big rock, you can't go up there, so we'll head over this way, and I want to blow this up, I think. Also, we are technically underwater because we do have floaty jumps. I'm going to blow that up so I can go get these heart ponds. Leave that one sitting there because they do persist. Keep every heart pond for as long as possible. As if I haven't mentioned it enough already. This was actually one of the levels that claimed my first life. So you really want to be holding on. And that's mostly due to void outs more than the spiky sea urchins. Also, I double jumped when I shouldn't have. That was a mistake. I'm gonna grab that one. So make your heart ponds last, make your lives last, and if you're really struggling, do not be afraid to use assist mode. This is the longest challenge road in the game so far. Oh, hey! What happened there? Kind of like buggily slipped off. So this is the longest challenge road, and all the levels are of a very decent length. Not so long that they outstay their welcome, except for maybe this level. But that's just a personal thing. Whoa, don't land on the spiky urchin, please. What I'm trying to do is jump on here, then double jump lunge onto this. That's what we're going to do. There's a heart pond here. I want to avoid that because I don't need it right now. It'd be nice if the camera could zoom out. No, I don't want to... Oh boy! Well, I cocked that one up. At least I have a checkpoint up here, so that's fine. I can actually jump back over here and grab this. I thought it was supposed to go up and over. See, this is the problem. you want to keep the dweller mask on so you can kind of like see your surroundings. Because that outer line from your field really helps to see if it's solid. Problem is when it's like this. Maybe the effect will help you see. So I want to jump for that light. There we go. Where can I walk? Over this way. So this is kind of like a unique use of the dweller mask, honestly, because normally you just use it to make solid platforms unsolid and vice versa. Also, we got to do a big double jump lunge to grab that, like at the peak. We can skip that starfish and just go straight down here. There we go. What are you jiggling about for? Hit you. Right on the plaster. Now, thankfully, that was 1/3 of the level. Once we make our way through this little bit here, this is the most visually best part of the level, in my opinion. Not only because it works well for, you know, platforming reasons, but it also just looks amazing. Look at this golden glow. Underwater volcanoes. The only problem is it also has one of the hardest parts of the level, which is quite easily cheesable. So we need to use our dweller mask here to jump on this little boat and go up there. But there's a lot of fire, honestly. And we just had to do a massive jump, like double jump lunge, to make it this far to begin with. And there's too much fire to try and platform up all the way up these platforms to reach those star platforms, making... Where are they? Starfish platforms. Where? Sorry, there isn't a starfish platform, but there are lamps on these floating mines that we can hookshot onto to make our way round. Sort of. But you don't even need to worry about any of that, because if we've learnt from what we just did, where we double jump lunge to just barely make it from one lamp to the next, you can skip this entire platforming segment by doing that very same technique here, and it's actually a little bit closer. So I don't see any harm in doing that, because, yeah, that is lethal. I couldn't get past that. It's kind of a weird thing, actually, because it, like, challenges you to... Because, like, you don't want to do that, really, because of damage potential, especially in the challenge road. If you're doing this level normally, maybe you'd attempt it, but you've still got 5 other levels ahead of you. So you want to retain your health, especially your lives. So why would you do that? You would actually think, I can make that jump, and you would. So are you a good player for realizing that there is a skip? Or are you a good player because you actually went through the gauntlet when it's easily skippable? I don't know. It's a bit of a weird thing where, like, there's options, which is always a good thing, but I'm pretty sure that's not... It is intended as a skip, but not intended to go for the level normally. Also, this is quite harrowing, to say the least. I'm just going to go for the lamp. Now, we don't swing on these, we kind of hang, and you only get your double jump, not a single jump when you hop off of these. So we got to, like, bounce and then hookshot the next one. We do not swing into the sea urchins, which is good, and there's no way we can make it down there. I've tried. Don't hold forward until you drop far enough down, because otherwise you will touch the urchins and then go flying into the abyss. Make our way round, hookshot that, lunge, it made it. What's my health right now? 4. I'm good. Alright, so this is a little bit panicky, but again, with careful planning of your jumps, as well as the floatiness of being underwater, we can make it to this platform here, and not be burned. But we will have to jump onto this one, and hopefully not touch the centre. To not be burned! I got stuck underneath! Ow, 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 ow! Oh, I just lost 3 hits at once. I might... Oh, God. I got stuck on the gaps there. I might go back for that heart pond. I don't know. Now, this is the end of the second segment. Look how dark it is ahead of us. You can't see a thing. And that's what I don't like about that, the final part of the level. It is so dark. In a way, that is advanced darkness. I mean, we've got a green hue right now, but that won't last for long. Again, double jump lunge, just barely make that. Same here. Just dive straight into the zip line. Don't try to cancel out of a lunge. The green hue is already disappearing. That is a bit spooky. We want to jump onto this pole here, so we can get onto this platform here. Again, The Dweller Mask is your friend if you don't have Nico's hat. It is an official mod though, so think about it. Yes, these bob, that is scary, but they do not drop, believe me. Right, I want to make it to that one over there, so I'm going to skip these and land. That was close. Don't mind as I just become Baloo the Bear for a moment. We've got a barrel over here, we'll jump for that. And then we can climb up here. And the lights turn off. Oh, joy. Right, I need these two. I'm just cheeky putting them around sea urchins. But again, use the Dweller Mask, because I neglected to do that in my practice and made this a lot more difficult for myself. So I know where I'm going, but I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting it really good. Right, so this is a very complicated looking. We need to scale this wall, and we don't have many movement options. Remember to not double jump into a wall climb. You want to double jump out of a wall climb. So single jump, back jump, jump to the platform. That's what we want to do. Right, I'm going to go for that one. So I'm actually going to go here. There we are. Just barely made it. Make it over this way. And then a bit of a tricky maneuver here, which is the easiest to pull off in my opinion. Jump, around, climb up. There we go. This segment is now done. Again, there are no tokens in this level. Don't worry about that for now. We just want to make sure we don't fall. But this level, this part of the level, is the toughest. I am dead. Oh, boy. Yeah, that can happen. I thought I was fine. But the problem is you can't tilt the camera down in this game. Which is becoming an ever-increasing problem. You can tilt it up by a press of the Y button, but other than that, I don't have a lot of control over it. Right. Jump around. Camera implodes. Thank you, game. Okay, I should have been fine. Alright, so this is the problem here. I want to zoom out the camera a little bit. I have to go back up so I can actually have it in the correct orientation. We've got 4 starfish, each one of them with an octopus making shockwaves. Now, this is the worst part. I tried to use the ice hat after a double jump lunge. So after cancelling out the lunge, I would use the ice hat to try and just slam straight on top of the starfish, killing the octopus so I could land safely. You can't use the ice hat out of a lunge. So that is not a viable option. You will need to home attack the octopus and then pull back very precisely to land on a platform where, against darkness, you have to try and see your drop shadow. It's a nightmare. This is where the level starts getting a bit unfair for me, personally. So I want to just skip as much as I can. So I want to home attack this guy, pull back a little bit, and land. Now I've got to do that again. Pull back a bit. Okay, we're safe. We're not exactly safe. And I was like, where do I go from here? If you look at where the timepiece is, do you see a faint line? By the way, jump periodically every time you see that shockwave. Just jump straight up and you'll dodge it. Because you're not safe here. Yeah, so if you're looking in that effect, do you see a very faint line? That's what we got to aim for. I landed on it and I got a checkpoint for it. If you fall at that point, you're fine. Because if I use the Dweller Mask now, you can see where the zipline is. This lamp, even though not every single lamp in this level, this lamp in particular signifies a checkpoint, and it extends all the way onto the zipline. I guess if you went for the pond, the money pond, you would get it. But back when I was playing this level for the first time, I thought if I grabbed that but somehow didn't get the zipline, would I not... or tightrope, excuse me, I would not get the checkpoint, or if there even was a checkpoint. Thankfully there is, so you can just go for the pond, but when I first did this, that was an option. Also, can't use your hats on the zipline, and I could barely see this platform in front of me. I don't even know if you can with YouTube's compression. But if you just jump and then use your hat, you can see the platform. There are invisible enemies here that even the Dweller Mask can't discern, so make sure you don't get spotted. So every time you land on a platform now, it's probably best to like double jump and try to do a lunge attack. Also, we've got a bunch of platforms here. You want to go for the second one. But after this, we are done. So I want to double jump, lunge, cancel, hat, jump to this one. Double jump, lunge, cancel at the... And there's an enemy here as well. I know it. There it is! Cheeky. And then we can hop into the cannon and fire ourselves to the finish. And that is probably the most difficult level, or one of the most difficult levels of this challenge road. And I got through without dying because I knew what I was doing. I knew the tricks. The captain's log is here. Will you read it? I hate reading. Blank box. No, nothing said. I enjoy reading. It's all just pages and pages of shipping logs. You skip to the last page. This was a shipping... delivery ship? Our course plots us through Shipwreck Cove. There have been all sorts of rumours of ships going missing around here. I don't believe any of it myself. Seems to me the crew are just looking for any old reason not to sail nowadays. End of Captain's log. So yeah, we were on the Matthews ship and then we got shipwrecked. Like, there is definitely a theme and story within this challenge road. Kinda crazy if you think about it. But guess what? It's time to leave this darkness and get back to the sunny beaches above. Looks like there are some ruins yonder of the Shipwreck Cove. Yeah, after a very dark level, especially at the very end there, which you could be spending a lot of time in, you're then whiplashed by nice, contrasting, bright, yet vibrant colours. Like, wow. Assault on the senses and getting blinded much. No swimming! The water is dangerous due to the low amount of buoyancy. Use water vehicles for all your travels or the bridge in front of you. Happy travels, sailing, and stay safe. If you go as much as put your ankle deep into the water, that counts as a void out and hurts you, like you just drowned. I wasn't even knee deep, I was ankle deep, and that hurt me? Rude? So yeah, you want to be careful here. Also, this music sounds very Conker's Bad Fur Day. Like, windy! I did not mean to do a dash there, wow. But that was actually pretty cool, because I actually made those jumps. Oh, I forget, it's a double jump one to get extra speed. I did not grab that. That's a great start. Oh boy. Well, I'm not going to do that, because that's technically cheating. But I didn't get any height there, for some reason. There we go, that's better. Out of reflex, I just tried to go for, what was it, the rocket cap, you know, this one. But I'm not going to do that, because that's technically cheating. I mean, I know I'm playing mods, and I have mods, but that's my mentality when I'm doing these challenge roads. If you were doing it with the base equipment, how would you do it? It's just a reflex when I'm doing the practice on my actual file. For a second there, I completely forgot what hat I needed. I was just going through my hats like a friggin' spinning around, and I didn't even choose what one I needed. So as I mentioned, like, when I'm practicing, like, I only use the hats when I'm down to my final life. And it was 8 levels long, and I was down to my, like, what was it, the semi-final level. And I was kind of panicky. So. But for the videos, I do it legit. It's just a reflex. And I didn't do it. Plus, you guys like seeing failure and death, so it's fine. And I like doing things legit, so. We've got enemies on these spinning rafters, once again. You do want to be taking these guys out, because we've got a cherry bomb puzzle. We need to get rid of the ice off of that button. Also, this is one convoluted path, like, oh, careful with the water, because it has no buoyancy. By the way, navigate this obstacle course with the risk of falling into said non-buoyancy-like waters. Good luck. Told you to stay safe, and yet this is what they want you to do. Also, Heart Pond sitting just a little bit under the water. I can't grab that to heal. That is cheating. Yeah, these Mafia can drop health, which is a little bit annoying. Thankfully, you don't need both cherries. I think they just put 2 just in case one bugs out. But thankfully, we only need the 1. So what we want to do is jump. There we go. Grab you. Yep, that'll do it. It's got plenty of time, so we can just wait for this to come round, chuck it at the ice, that blows up, stay away from it so you don't hurt yourself, especially if you're at 1 health like I am. Even though, even in the normal game, like, on the way to, like, Vanessa's Manor with the cherry bombs, if I'm far enough away from it, it still hurts me. I don't know why. So, God, this music's so jazzy. Smooth jazz. What's for whole radio? This is a tough jump to make. Don't vault off the edge, because that is scary. We do not need to do the Mafia, we just need to make this jump. And, by the way, this is one of the levels where there are collectibles, but not right now. Right, this one I don't like. We gotta do this. Oh boy, don't like that. I wanted to get on this bit. There was another way on doing this segment. If you stand on the edges of that, like these poles of the platform just below, right there, where we just came from, you can wall climb off onto the way I'm standing right now and make it up here. But the way I just did it right now is the original method. I actually forgot about it when I was going through. I'm going to dodge you because I don't care for you. I'm not doing a slide and dash because that's dangerous. We are here. We can go for the timepiece.
Oh no, oh no!
Way! We're under the water again! We can't seem to escape this area, but thankfully it's not as dark as the trench that we just went through to get here. Yeah, those ruins were a booby trap, and it's taken the timepiece with it, so we've got part 2 of the level! And climbing up here really doesn't do anything for us. There is a heart pond over there, so I'll be definitely grabbing that because I need it. I haven't died yet, which is crazy. Give me that. There we go. Funny thing is, I might be able to actually do this without cutting anything out. But as soon as those bubbles stop blowing, you'll want to be running across immediately, because if they blow, they are going to push you into those sea urchins over there, and that's going to hurt. I don't even know if that's a kill or not, honestly. But we just blew up this ice, so we can get up here. Not into the urchin. That was kind of close. Close shave right there. I think I get the point. Right. So we're not all washed up. Let's bounce on these bubbles. I was not ready for that. I forgot they could reach you up there. I had a bit of a blank moment there. Oh, that was dumb. Alright, let me get back up there. Come on. Normally I speed up getting all the way back, but I think for the sake of it being long, we're just in it for the long haul. This is a feature length! Okay, why did I not climb the wall there? That was weird. I just literally just went into a free fall, like, didn't even do anything. I'll just jump on the platform normally. Right, wait for the bubbles to go, so we can jump on these bubbles not affected by the jet stream for some reason. And not bounce on that one either! I didn't think I was still in the stream. Well, this is going well. Oh, I don't speed up or cut, or maybe it's like... Now I might have to. Okay. I also mentioned the wall climbing thing's been patched up and fixed, but it's starting to mess me up already. Or it's just not climbable surfaces and I'm just getting mixed up. Right. Let's go. That's what we wanted to do. Now, we can use the ice hat here, or we can just double jump lunge. This is where they take you, so you don't need to worry about that at the moment. I'm going to wait for these to go again. Even though this looks like it's above, I'm not chancing it now with only one hit remaining again. Although it wouldn't be so bad if I did lose a life at this point. I don't plan on losing one now. Through this little trench here, there's a heart pond. I saw you load. Bit of lava underneath us, so we don't really want to be worrying about that. We want to be going up and over, so... Whoa. Right, stay on this, wait for it to go down a little bit. Then we double jump, lunge, cancel. There we go. Grab the heart pond, because we need it. Then another double jump. Lunge, cancel, and a hook shot. Swinging around down here. That sinks. And all these platforms sink as we know it, so it's time to get moving. You can see where the fish come out, so just avoid those. This is a little bit of a safe spot, so we'll just go long and dodge that platform entirely. And there we go! And guess what? Behind this seaweed right here is a token. And you'll probably see it when we have to come back round this way. But I'll grab it right now, since it is right here. This is one of 2 tokens in the level, not counting the mod timepiece, which becomes a mod drift token. Yeah, that deep into the level, practically 3/4 in. Because right beyond that, if you can see that little shine over there, you can see it, can't you? That's where the timepiece is. We're at the final segment. So let's grab one of these hop ponds real quick and hop on down. What's it say? A note has been left by sea divers who were exploring this area a long time ago. According to the pressure data, the air that keeps getting released from the underground below is enough to push a small child up. Why would a small child be underwater and grounded? Although it's completely useless to our research, it's a neat fact. Perhaps why not just swim up instead? Because we can't. Yeah, HackKid operates under different physics and rules. And by that I mean normal ground physics underwater. And we do have a little bit of a float to our jump. I love how that if we're in an underwater like area that's not a blue time rift, we do actually have a little bit of floatiness to our jump. I think that's a very nice touch. I don't think I've ever mentioned that, and I think it was high time I should. Need to grab one of these cherries and head back over to the other side. This is a lot easier than the very first segment, considering that this is all we need to really do. Just walk over here, trigger you, hop into the jet stream, boing, and toss. I blew myself up. That was dumb. But it's fine. We have a heart pond over here. So I'm going to grab that real quick. What happened there? Excuse me? Game just said no. Denied. You're not allowed to heal. Go back to where you were. What happened? I mean, I know what happened. I got stuck. I couldn't land, and the game has a soft lock prevention feature where instead of like in Mario 64, it just kills you, because that would be evil. If you can't actually land, it considers you soft locked, so it warps you back to the nearest point of where you were, you know, perfectly fine to move. Where did I land? Oh, okay, yeah. So sliding down against the wall and then landing on the floor counts as a soft lock, so it warps me back. That was a much more controlled method of doing it. That threw me off. You threw off my groove! Right. Also, this grass looks like straight out of Wind Waker. Or seaweed, shall I say. Let's just jump over this way. Climb up. Hit the switch. And this jet stream is now active. Don't ask me why there's a switch underwater that does that, but we have a dweller and we have ice. Guess what? Cherries are just down here. So we only have to deal with that jet stream once, really. Once going... well, no, we had to deal with it 3 times. Going back and forth. Oh, come on, really? I hate how they put a sea urchin right underneath this platform, just in case you mess up the jump. You could potentially hurt yourself. Excuse me? That should have made contact damage. Let's try it again. I slipped off the edge, come on. What's going on? I'm flubbing in this level in ways I've never have. Whoa! I just spawned a ton of bubble effects. Cat Kid was foaming. Well, I guess that works. I'll just stay here and just play it safe. There we are. I mean, to be fair, I'm becoming an ice statue and I'm blowing up ice. Maybe that won't actually protect me. Anyways, we've made it to the collapsed ruins of where the timepiece was. We made it to it twice now. However, let this sunken treasure be a reminder of the greed that scourges humanity itself. You are only allowed to take 1. And if you haven't noticed, these gold mounds are basically just a ton of rift tokens. It's kind of like in Donkey Kong 64 where you have those mounds of banana coins, but you're not allowed to pick them up. Only the ones you're allowed to pick up. Like this one. This is the second of 2, so technically we've taken more than 1, but it wasn't part of the pile. We found it on the way. Do we need any health? Well, we're at max health. There's 2 heart ponds here, which are very useful for the challenge road. But that is yet another level done. And we're only halfway through. Well, we keep getting stuck underwater, so let's make a time rift and get the hell out of Dodge. That's how I picture this story to be going, by the way. This rift has very jankily moving platforms. I mean, I can see what he was going for, but the rotation's not smooth, but it does get the point across. And it's quite interesting, actually, because, like, you've got to set yourself up so that it will actually tilt upwards into the direction you need to go to. So, yeah, they're pretty cool. Like, there's not much else I can say about that. It's just a decent platforming challenge. Just position yourself on the correct side at the correct time so it elevates at the right time. So we've got like these kind of puzzles here where we have pull switches as well as floor switches, and all of them in a set need to be activated to activate something. Pro tip, do not leave the pull switches for last, because if you do, this happens. Let me hit that first to make my demonstration. Even if you're holding X, and I'm going to be facing forward for this. Oh, this one didn't do it. Okay, we're safe here. But what would happen is that a cutscene moving the camera would happen, which would immediately take you out of the hook shot, and when the camera's returned to you, you'll be in a freefall. It is so cheap. So, yeah, prioritize doing the pull switches early before everything else. Right, this should be fine. Right, pull this one. That one's deactivated, so that's fine. Or activated, shall I say. We need to open up this cage. Yeah, I'm going for this one first. I think all of these are pull switches, unfortunately, so we're not going to be safe doing this one. I think we will have that instance where a cutscene will play and we are going to be in a freefall. Where is that? Oh, it's right above me. Okay. So what we need to do is wait until this rotates up a bit. Oh boy, don't squish me, please. Ooh. Okay. There we are, got it. Actually, this is probably the most safe one because we have a platform underneath us. Cutscene happens, I'm holding X, and I go into a freefall. That's probably the safest one to do it on, honestly. Right, take me up, please. Where am I going? Oh, I see a certain, virtual virus bug that we've had a few run-ins before. I've got a 1 to 3 with success rate on you. Let's see if we can make it 2 for 3. The third one being this one, the first one being the Moustache Girl one that I did for the Moustache Girl marathon. Oh, hi, I'm Julian Scott. It's kind of nice to see you, for you to be here, since I'm on the run due to a specific incident in a water-themed map. Having you here makes me less lonely and gives me some production. What do you mean? You can skip the context if you want, but this is relevant. Remember what I said at the earliest part of this video, that even though this was one of his earlier created levels, the story is part of the release order, and this is his latest released level. Other than the one that was in the previous challenge road, which was DLC Immersion. Okay, in the Creator DLC channel, the place with discs, more discs and water, my crappy creations caused a 40-car pile-up, and I ended up getting squished by criticism. DLC Immersion, which was in a challenge road. This is the previous one that we played, which came after the Moustache Girl mod that we did. Well, after that whole Creator DLC car accident situation, I was asked by the police about why I did it. I told them it wasn't me, it was my Garbage Poison Ivy artwork. What? After being asked for 40 minutes straight, the cops took a coffee break. While they were out of the asking room, I broke through the wall and ran away. I mean, you are a big lad, so you literally curl up your legs and be a wrecking ball. Gone rolled out of there. I then made a Tim riff that I could hide, and here we are today. Time rift. I actually thought that Tim riff thing was talking about that Tim the Time God boss fight, but I don't think that was made by Julian God, but I thought it was a reference. It's just how he says Time Rift. But I think it's also a reference to Tim being a Time God, because He's a time god. Time rifts. Tim. Riff. Get it? I think that might be the idea. Well, it's just a weird way of saying it. I might be looking too deep into it. I'm a lore junkie. I like Metroid, what can I say? And Kingdom Hearts. It's been a few days since I first came here, and I just realised that I misplaced the nearby snack dispenser. I need to get it over here so I don't starve or get dehydrated. So could you get that juice box over here somehow? Look where Jink God is, that's where we are. And look where that switch is that we need to get to. That is a long stack of balloons. I like how the camera actually pans back down as well to show us. We got to get up there in order to continue. This is not optional. So this, funnily enough, has relevance. Also, why have we got like some sort of Diddy Kong Racing power-up balloon there? Let's go touch it. Way! Eye aviation bounce. So a couple of hooks that will swing to. And then, straight up we go. Double jump into each one. And we got it. First try. Ooh, thanks for making a path to the food station, but I just realised that I could have built a path there myself, flown there, or simply moved the machine in the Hat and Time editor. If the path wasn't beneficial to you, I'm sorry for wasting your time. Free fall! Even though I was on the button, it's fine, because we need to be right here. Because Jink God's right down there, we could have just jumped up. Don't need health, I am fine. So let's just continue moving on. Bye, buddy! And it's broken. However, Jink God might still be able to get food and drinks out of it with a Hat and Time editor. Or he could just spawn it directly. Or spawn, like, a restaurant with food for free. I don't know. There's many things he could have done. And he chose poorly. Oh. Yep, time stop hat for these platforms, as you know, gives you a little bit of extra reaction time. Because red ones drop soon after being stepped on. They're basically donut platforms. But not the cookie variety. Because those ones shrink. Press these free. Get the ice hat ready. And hippooshki. Aha! Another checkpoint. Why am I getting out my hat wheel? I know what hat I want. Need the Dweller Mask once again. We'll just make our way to the middle. Pass on through. This is the side we need to be on. Don't worry about the rest of it. Actually, I'm going to go over this way. Camera was inside the Dweller wall, so that was kind of funny looking. Aha! Punch cancel. Get up. That'll do. Oh, whoops. I bonked. It's fine. Remedied. Sorted. Right, so that segment's done. We'll jump over this way. Back on ourselves. And then we can get on top of the Dweller platform that we were just on and hit all 4 of these switches. Except for the fact I'm not going to hit all 4 because I want to go do this first. So I'm not in a free-fall hanging motion when all buttons are pressed. I thought I had sprint hat for a second. It's fine. Just press all these. And we're safe. Again, as I mentioned, do the pool switches before the floor switches. Because that's probably not a good one to be in a free fall for. We need to go this way now. Back over here. Back up and around. Because those 2 slope platforms have now made a slope upwards to the next area. Toward the timepiece. We've got to climb this up again. I bonked. It's fine. There we are. Up. And I'm going to go sprint hat. Because check this out. You can just... Well, you can run over that gap, but I kind of... I was about to say... I literally jumped out of instinct. I was about to say you can actually run over that gap with the sprint hat, but like Mario, but I kind of just did it anyway without... Out of impulse. The threat of not dying. Right, here's the thing. Don't bother trying to hookshot that hook and then wall climb up that gap. It's a bit too finicky, and the camera likes to implode. You can just do it all in one go by going in this direction and starting off as close as possible anyway. So what I want to do is jump into this balloon, double jump so you get enough height on the wall climb. And then we just hit all the switches as we go. So it's this one next. Don't need to wait for it to go too high. We can just double jump, lunge, and then hook shot to grab it. Bring this around town. I think we're at... Yep, this is a decent height. We can do this. Swing the brilly. There we go. Because we can't home attack those. They're on fire. Spicy wings. I don't know. I actually had spicy wings for dinner, so I guess that joke actually has weight. Time stop hat, if we want it. I had the wrong hat on. I was trying to swap to the Dweller mask, but I kind of screwed that up a bit with the wheel. I always go the wrong way. I knew where it was, and I just chose poorly. Thankfully, we don't need to hit every switch again. Oh, don't double vault. That scares the crap out of me. Right, we're back to where we were, practically. That's not high enough. That'll do. That's enough elevation. Right, let's not cock this up this time. I'm just going to go. I don't need time stop. What was I being fussed about? I mean, to be honest, I didn't use it in practice either, so it was like... It is just something like, if you need the extra time to platform, because as you saw there, it drops really quick. This is pretty easy to scale, honestly. I'll get on top, though. It's a bit too high, so how do we get up higher? Well, as you can see, if we ride this around, we can technically make it to that ice platform. And I hope you have Ice Hat, because there's no way on hitting this switch otherwise. Yep, just literally gets rid of the ice barrier, so you can hit it. So now we jump over this way. We can then take this hook, get on top of this Dweller block, use the Dweller mask, and slap the final button. There we are! The timepiece is now available. We can get out of here. Not as long as the rest of the levels that we've gone through so far, but still a decent length. And we're still going. Very decent platforming challenges, but a lot of effort is needed. Thankfully, though, we get a little bit of a respite with a short level. We're almost done.
The birds at the birdhouse steal shiny things.
Good to know. Right, we're going to swap to the sprint hat. And again, we're technically in a rift because of all these bubbles. This is why I put this costume on, you see. All ocean exploration, effectively.
There's a horn at the top.
Yep, I see that. So we can see all the hooks. We know exactly where to go. You know what? I'm going to be cheeky and skip a hook. Because I can. And I'm going to skip that one too, because I am a Chad. That kid must have one hell of a pair of lungs. Literally blows the horn and she floats off the air. And we don't actually get to see a puzzle that involves these horns very often, really. Because, like, that was an Alpine Curse thing. That was an Alpine Skyline thing. And we haven't had much of that kind of mechanics since the main Let's Play or the Death Wishes. Hello, Empress. What are you doing here?
Are you lost, little girl? I'm afraid I don't have anything for you.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of reused voice lines from the main game, but it all fits in some manner. Don't know why she's here, though. Unless she's the one who put these here, because they are cat vacuums. Also, avoid the cannon. Did you see that? That's the only collectible for this level. Let's just double jump lunge cancel to climb up. The only token in this level. And it's the shortest one. And there's no way you can miss it, because you'll see it on the way. But you just got to realise, hey, I need to move before I hop into this cannon. Which we can now do. That's really the only detour we had to do. Because otherwise, that's automated. And we're at the end.
Kid, I went up ahead and was scratched slightly.
Well, don't jump on his feet, then. Oh, never mind. It's these guys again that could spar you if you're not careful. I see what you mean. So, technically, you're given a warning, but you would think about these guys' feet. Also, Mafia that we can talk to.
It's nice to take vacation. See people that are not other mafia. Too many of those at home.
Makes sense. Can I still kill you, though? Yes.
Captain, no splash.
Not a sound.
Well, he'll be fine. We're in a time rift after all. I'm about to rewind everything. And close this one up. Alright, semi-final rift. And this one from LCL is a doozy. As you can tell by the music, yes, definitely from Anti-Birth / Repentance. But it feels like a Celeste level. So it's like a clash of the indies. There's a note on the ground. Looks like a frozen hat kid. I am Grimace Kid. I watch over the Downpour. If you wish to reach the top of this rift, you must use the rushing waters for momentum. Keep in mind, double jumping conserves momentum, but diving does not. So basically, throughout the entire level, diving is not an option. Fight your urges and do not do a dive. The part time for this rift is 2 minutes 30 seconds. We're not worrying about that. We're just concerned on getting through alive, and we still have all 3 of our lives. I hear there's a reclusive fortune teller somewhere in the rift. Can you find them? I'm not bothered about that. So as you can see, we got to use the momentum from the rushing water and hopefully not let the the thunderstorm lightning bolts put us off on our platforming skill. We need to basically hold forward. That's a key. Hold forward and then jump and double jump in time to hit the balloons. And hitting a balloon will not only give you more aviation, but restore your double jump for more platforming. And it gets ridiculous later on. Also, I actually had to lunge there to barely make it, but that's fine. One of the very few rare times. If you've got a wall scale to go through that doesn't lead off of anything else, you might be alright for a cheeky lunge. But for the most part, take the hit. Otherwise, you might have a problem. Also, I didn't exactly have optimal camera there, but I saw the hook, so I'm fine. Right, so here's what we want to do. Go here. Double jump into this wall and climb up. There we go. Right. Just ever so slightly jump over this way. Still got full health, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. Just gonna actually lunge a little bit there to skip those guys. No, wait, no, we can skip... Ow, well, poo. Okay, I'm gonna kill you guys. Just in case you drop a harpoon. You did not. What you're supposed to do is jump around, because if you touch that water, you will be sent into the abyss faster than a rock sinking in water. That water itself will actually make you fall faster than that. What you want to do is just skip that entirely and hookshot this. I'm guessing that is intended, considering that there is a part time for speedrunning, so you would ignore these enemies, but I'm not going for that. Do so as you wish. Right. Funnily enough, I have actually been able to keep the commentary going and not pause to concentrate, but I might have to do so in a bit. Don't touch that water, that is bad juju. We'll just jump around here. We don't even need to use the balloon here. Right, here we go. Straight up. Jump over here. Get ourselves a line without needing to grab... Actually, I could take that. 3 balloons there. Best thing to do is always let yourself drop a little bit below your target, so that when you double jump, you should hit square on. It'll get the most out of your jump as well, believe me. You can see what I'm trying to do. It's easier to show than explain! How did I not make that? I should have lunged to just get the extra little boost needed, but I think I somehow... No, I didn't. Okay, I'll go again. Also, another reason why I think that this is more of a Celeste level in terms of design is because we have, like, this little trail following behind us when we're running. You see that? Little sparkle trail? That doesn't seem very Binding of Isaac to me. It's just the music and the theme, I guess. It's a Celeste level with Binding of Isaac music and theming. I guess that's what they were going for. Jump around. I'm up here. Right, let's try this again. I think when it comes to those springs, I might be alright for a lunge, but I made it this time, so it's fine. I overshot, it's fine. If I land here, we can try again. Excuse me? Where was my single jump? Well, that failed. Grab that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to cut any of this out. I'm going to be keeping most of this in, so you can just see, like, how challenging it can be, but, you know, also mostly fair. Like, again, level 3's Shipwreck Cove or whatever it was. The one with the very dark level. I think that was a little bit too dark, because, like, it's a platforming game. You need to be able to see what you're doing. Again, I went for a normal jump. What the hell? Not normal jump. The you know, the second jump. It's like I'm doing a sprint jump, but I'm not holding the sprint button. I'm changing my hat just so it's not a weird thing. Maybe I'm going too fast and it thinks I'm going for a sprint. Is that a thing? So I swear I'm not holding the sprint button, because if you're holding the sprint button, you do that long somersault, and you can't double jump out of it. I swear I'm not doing that. That's better. You know what? Just put Hat Kid's hat on. Because I don't need any actual power-ups. There we go, okay. Let's skip part. No! You did it again! Where was my first jump? You went for the somersault! I am not wearing the sprint hat! Why did it do that? I don't understand how that keeps happening. Like, I did have that a couple of times in practice and it was annoying, but not at this point. It's messing me up on that one stretch. And I think that's the last stretch of this segment of the level. Because there's not hasn't been a checkpoint so far, I have to keep doing this bit over and over. That's a bad angle, and I can't see what I'm doing, even though there's no wall in the way. It just likes to implode. Yeah, when's that going to be fixed? Maybe it's because I keep going off the edge, so because I'm timing it ever so slightly too late. So because I go off the edge, she goes for an immediate double jump, so I've got to jump a little bit earlier. That might be it. I'm going for a lunge just to make it there, because I will be safe. There we go. That was basically the checkpoint. Now, this bit's the last segment of this... Well, last segment of this part of the level. If that makes sense. So, this could be a bit scary, but the camera does reorientate for you. So you just got to hold forward and ever so slightly angle yourself as necessary. Keep holding forward. Keep holding forward. And we're clear. We have another statue. There's a note on the ground. I am Grimace Kid. I'll watch you over the Downpour. If you wish to proceed further, you must traverse the other side of the mirror. But someone or physical being cannot enter the mirror. Only one spiritual. What do you mean by that? Oh. We've had a bit of an impasse. However, there's some magical fire here. This takes inspiration from... I don't know if this is the direct inspiration, but I know of it, although I haven't played it myself. I have tried, but I'm just terrible. The original Prince of Persia 2. There is a part in the level... There's a part in the game where you actually are required to die, but only in a particular way, so that your spirit can continue on. And it's with some special flames. And they were blue. Now, it sounds like we died, but look at our health. We are fine. All we have done is left our body behind, and we are now an ethereal being. This looks amazing! We've also got our eyes closed, so I don't actually know how we're looking around, but if we're spiritual, that may be what it is. But is the fish in our costumes? Are the fishes in our costume dead as well? Makes you wonder. But now, we can enter the mirror. However, we can't go back now. Music's all distorted and creepy. And we've still got more platforming. Guess what? This is not as long, but it's a bit more difficult. And this first part It's quite automated. I think there's only like maybe 2 times where you have to press A, but for the most part you just hold forward. So we have to do this jump, hold forward the whole way through here. That's an A press. Hold forward. Don't even mess with the camera. And there we go. We're up. Now, this is the toughest part of the level. I didn't mean to grab that, but we don't exactly have a lot of moving room here. I actually failed on this part a lot. But I think it's because that as I don't have much of a physical body, it was hard for me to judge exactly where I was. Look how insane and fast this gets! I'm glad I can play this at 60 frames. Whee! Coming through! And we're not done yet! We've still got more! Let's go! Down the warp pipe! Look at that camera angle! Now, if you don't actually make the jump to that waterfall and you do fall along with it, you can still be safe. And I just nailed that in one, and that was the part of the level I was struggling the most. But because I had that weird, like, not allowing me to jump, and I was just going straight for the double jump, like if I was using the sprint hat like that. Maybe it's because I walked off the edge, and therefore it triggered my double jump and not my single jump, and I was timing it ever so slightly late. But visually, looked like my feet were still touching the water. But guess what? That is the semi-final level done, and by touching the timepiece, we reverse our spirit back into our body as we close the rift to make our way to the Tower of Dusk. That eye looks alive. And it looks like we're finally out of the water. Maybe we've abused time too much to get onto this journey, but it's watching us approach. Not creepy at all. Oh, this is a bit rickety. Make our way across, and we've got some springboards here. They absolutely kill your momentum, but they give you a decent amount of height. So you want to do double jump lunges, as well as cancelling every time you jump off of one of these. Just so you can get the most distance. So they just send you straight up otherwise. Now here's the thing. What they want you to do is jump to that one and then jump across. But if you're clever, do a quick lunge cancel into the wall. You can actually, like, get up. Obviously, we have no bonk, so we should be fine on doing that as well. Just lunge into the wall and it will count. But we don't need to worry about that. What we do need to worry about is that on the way into the tower, or towards it at the very least, we don't fall from these platforms, because these wooden bridges are very fragile. Fall as soon as we touch them. There are 3 tokens in this level, but they're all in one location, so we'll get to that when we do. But for now, we got to get over there, and there's a bunch of springboards in a row here. As I said, bounce, double jump, lunge, cancel. Bounce, double jump, lunge, cancel. That's all you need to do. There we are. We made it to the bottom of the tower. Is tower alive? Sways. Oh, it's attacking us. That eyeball's not happy. We have got a boss fight on our hands. We need to scale and take this thing out. How convenient that he has a few platforms for us to get up. It's like he's challenging us. Alright, so this level's pretty dark, so we want to employ what we've learnt before and use our Dweller Mask to at least see where our platforms are. Unfortunately, one of the platforms there, the wooden platforms, kind of gave way. What am I standing on? I just took full damage from nothing. That's fair. However, oh, I actually can't move. That's fine. If I just hug the building, I could technically salvage this. If I can see where that platform is below me. Right, I'm going to jump away. Aha! I made it. Happy days. Right. That doesn't normally happen with me, but I was trying to show that you can still use the dweller mask to see the floor, but it doesn't show you, unlike in Harry Potter and Chamber of Secrets on PS2, Xbox, and GameCube, it doesn't show you that what platforms actually fall. So my advice is to just jump as close as you can to the next lamp. Easier. It's a board here. So we want to jump toward this ice panel. There we are. I'm on something, couldn't see it. It's fine. Bounce on this. Great camera angle though, I will admit. Now, from this point, we don't actually want to climb. Right below us, we have a lip of the building. We want to drop down to this point here. There we are. We're safe here. As much as it doesn't look like it. We want to sprint all the way down this way. Yes, this is intended for a secret. Follow it all the way around, this way specifically. Can I actually go for a slide? I can. It's a lot quicker. I actually grabbed the platform. And there we are! We have a secret platform behind this massive tower. Halfway up, mind you. And we just have 3 Rift tokens and a ton of money sitting here. Yes, the money regenerates every time you come back. That's a 1. A 2. A 3. 3 tokens. And that is all the collectibles in this entire challenge road. 6 tokens for us to grab throughout, plus 8 if we played them all individually for their timepieces. And it's actually a little bit brighter behind here as well. We've got like nice trees in the background here. It's kind of nice. Unfortunately, that's not what we're here for. We're not here for scenery. We need to take down this tower that we're on top of. And if you don't grab these tokens now, you have to play through the whole level again to get back to them. So now we need to run all the way back up here. Which, by the way, you can't fall, which is really good. It's like a big lip. But this is exactly where one of the ice platforms were that launched us upwards in the first place. In fact, you can see the first checkpoint, or I say the first checkpoint, or first stopping point where I originally fell. But because that we're now higher up, we got lighter fog, you can actually see the 3 falling platforms that I flabbed up on that weren't revealed by the dweller mask. Let's head back up. Yeah. And even though it does look brighter right now, I'm pretty sure the brightness will correct itself in a little bit. Unless we got lucky. Unless I fall and hurt myself. Right, I need to get back to that again. Okay, I don't know why the camera likes to look away from the building. That's not very helpful for me in particular. There we are, I made it this time. Problem is that even with this brightened light that I don't think we should actually have, maybe it's because I grabbed those tokens, maybe that was like a reward for better viewing. I don't actually think you can light these either, which would be nice. Whoa! Okay. Lightning effect didn't hurt me, but that was right on me. Or what I was trying to say was, drop shadow on those springy platforms. That doesn't show up. Wow, where are we going? Back down we go, I guess. Well, that's where we started before we tried to ascend. But this has taken us to a cannon. Let's use that. Can we nail the shot? Ooh! Coming in for a landing. I'd say bullseye, but that was the eye of a clock. I guess I made him go cuckoo? Can't think of a better pun than that, unfortunately. Still, could be worse. We are done with the longest challenge road that has ever been a thing for a Hat in Time. 8 levels long. No update, so it hasn't had any erroneous versions of the challenge road show up. So no erroneous trophies to worry about either. And it's not exactly on the board of the party as well, because I've been busy recently, if you haven't noticed on the channel as well. So, and I didn't even die once. I didn't cheat either. Let's get out of here and claim our winnings. Why was this so long? I really want to know. I might ask around on the Hat in Time Discord server as to why this is so long. I mean, I guess it is just a big showcase of the 2022 Ocean Exploration Modding Jam, just getting more in there, because for whatever reason, they've been doing a lot of those levels throughout the few challenge roads that we have done recently. Like, they're just showing every single one of them, and it's insane. These are all great levels. I mean, the colours of Shipwreck's Coast, which are fine, but near the end of the level, it is just too dark. That's my only main complaint about it. And the rest of it is just decent challenge all round. It's great. It's just, it is long. This video is long. Like, this is an hour and a half at least. So, and that's basically uncut and sped up. And as well, obviously, I go through the levels again individually to get the mod timepieces so they become mod rift tokens. But I also remembered, because I always record them, so, you know, I can clip in any rift roulettes that we get. I don't even know if we're going to get any of those, because I haven't actually got anything in the rift roulette. Last time, when we did Challenge Road 36, we got all the stuff in the roulette. We're ready for a Sonic marathon when I'm ready to do it, but as I've mentioned already, I've been busy with other things on the channel, and that's what my focus, especially for this year. So whenever I'm ready to cover the Sonic stuff, I will do. But I wasn't expecting a behemoth of a challenge road such as this. But they're all great, except for maybe the end of Shipwreck's Coast, but I still got through it, and there is that one pond for telegraphing of that zip line, so it's not all bad. And again, you get 8 tokens, one for beating each level, getting the timepiece for each level individually outside of the challenge road, plus 6 to pick up. That's 14 tokens right there. Go buy one at Conductor's Village, and then you got 15 tokens. You got enough for 5 spins for anything that you got in there. But that means I'm going to have to actually find some more mods to put in there. But if I were to think about it, the Birdhouse Rift and the Rift of Downpour Time Rift, maybe even Bleak City, might count as a blue Time Rift. Because all the... maybe Time Rift unlocking routes as well. The first 4 levels aren't those. But, yeah. This was a hell of a ride. In the next episode, guys, it'll either be another challenge road or, as I mentioned, the Sonic stuff, whenever I can get to it. See you guys then.